Something that not a lot of people are talking about in regards to 2020 and things that it's brought about is a mass understanding that financial stability can just disappear. And this is happening in industries and branches of income that don't normally see these type of blows. And that's opening a very interesting market for really these horrible people to exploit a weakness of us, which is feeling vulnerable. And now that there are so many masses of people that are feeling vulnerable, especially when it comes to finances, they're looking outwards. And that's when they're falling into a bunch of these self-help traps and these make money fast traps, because the owners of these businesses and scams know exactly what you want, and they will keep enticing you on what you want until you leave, because there's going to be plenty of other people that appear once you're gone, which is what keeps supporting their business. The trouble with this industry, self-help or get rich quick, is it's all about positivity. Absolutely all about positivity. And when the positivity isn't there, and it's negativity coming from a member or the outside, well, they're just that. They are part of the outside. Non-believers. It's either non-believers or, if it's members, it's people who just aren't giving enough effort into making the return. And that's just a farce. It's a smokescreen. If your main source of income through your labor is bringing in new members, not only that, but bringing in new members and hoping they stick around, if that's your main source of income and your other source of income in that business, secondary, makes less money, well, in the grand scheme of things, if you're feeling vulnerable and you're desperate and needing money, if enrolling new people seems like a faster track, you're going to take that track. And that's what they make it. As soon as you bring more members, you'll start seeing dollar signs, is their proposition. And then whatever BS way they make money, sell a product or sell several products. The main thing is to get you thinking, oh, there's going to be money quickly. The thing is, if it was such a good business, why isn't everyone doing it without your enrolling them? Why is it so secretive? And that's a super easy example. Let's say that it's not a super secretive. Let's just say it's a common pyramid scheme that you just see over and over again. Well, they really don't value you as an actual business owner. They see you as a storefront if you have the influence. So if you have the influence to sell their product, cool, you're in good grace with them. But if you go in there, struggle, and don't find any type of shine in the business, then you're going to be invisible. And until you either give up or burn out, you're not going to see any help, because there's so many other people being influenced to join that it's a numbers game. There's going to be some good salespeople. And as most common person, you're going to probably not going to be that salesperson. And then you've got the lifestyle fake gurus online that are emerging the past few years. but especially being successful 2020, 2021 with all these vulnerabilities sparking up. And it baffles me that these people are making from 500 to several thousand on each person who is being suckered into these fake business plans, and all they're doing is pumping up these poor victims with false hopes and all these basically fluff words to make them feel good, and little things, incentives to make them feel like they achieved something, when in all actuality all they're doing is being conned into selling a con further, just letting the spread continue on. And it baffles me, it absolutely baffles me that all of these businesses, these absolutely corrupt businesses, completely flawed business plans, provenly flawed business plans, MLMs, pyramid schemes, they only benefit the people on top. They only benefit the creators and the ones who have the most people under them. I think it's 0.1% or so actually make a decent income. The rest, it's barely minimum wage. You're fighting for barely minimum wage, and then they try to fluff you up and call you an entrepreneur and a business owner. It's all lies. I think it's absolutely ludicrous for a company to be able to propose such numbers and such exclamations on what they project their employees to make, when it's really only a reflection of 1% of the people that are actually involved in the company. That's not in any way representative of what the people are actually going to make. So for anyone who is new to these things, MLMs or pyramid schemes, that type of business model, absolutely avoid them. The main signs that there are these type of business plans is the fact that you are pushed to recruit more people, more employees, and they're going to say, oh, you're recruiting them under you because you're managing them, and that makes you a savvy business owner. No, it does not. Because you're not managing them. You're hoping they make income so that you can piggyback off their income and get a nice slice of the cake. That's all it is. Alright, so there's recruitment, and then there's you buying a product, and they're going to say, oh, well, we need you to display the product. We need you to work with the product in front of the customer. Dramatic demonstration will help sell the product. Well, there you go. They just turned you into their additional marketplace. You are now out there selling some random product, but you have to buy into it first, and then basically hope you run into people to sell it to. So they try to say that, oh, you're a business owner because you have to manage your own time, no 9 to 5. It's all BS. It's just a ton of responsibilities that they put onto you that a normal business just pretty much wouldn't. They'd manage you. Whereas MLM or pyramid schemes, you have to manage it yourself. That doesn't mean it's a business. It just means, here are things. This is how capitalism typically works, or consumerism. Here are products. Make them disappear. Make customers buy them. As far as the self-help industry, which is booming right now during all these feelings of vulnerability, let's just make sure to address that again. To avoid those, it's basically a bunch of these, a huge fluctuation oversaturation of these people exploiting the fact that you're vulnerable and you're looking for ways out of, let's say, financial ruin, or you just want extra financial stability because you are worried about the future. They are using that, and then they are saying, hey, you're worried now, but buy my stuff and we'll teach you how to reverse all your problems. That's not how life works. So what they're mainly going to do is they're going to really slimy tactic. They're going to exploit your vulnerability by constantly petting you with positive words, quotes of encouragement, if it's a social media posting thing, tactic, and it's going to be all hype to keep you going, because you know what? The people who don't make it are the quitters. Only quitters are the ones that don't make it. Did you catch that? That's how they further ensnare you. If the only ones that don't make it are the people who quit because they simply didn't put the effort, that is how you make a divide. An us versus them. The people who are in the business trying so hard to make it, and the people on the outside, the ones who just aren't putting enough effort. That means if you lose, like if you don't make what your goal is, if you don't achieve what they're projecting, or keep telling you you're going to make, if you give up, it's your fault. It's back to us versus them. You are now them and all the us still in the group, in the business. And by the way, once you're out of that, once you're on the other side of the us versus them, the people you used to talk to, they won't talk to you anymore, because you didn't make it. You didn't put enough effort to make it. You're just another loser. Also, a little bonus, who in their right mind just carries around stacks of money? This is another way you can find out it's a fake guru, or somebody trying to sell you a way to make money and live a lavish lifestyle. If they're making pictures of themselves with stacks of cash, which is something no one does, no one even really carries much cash around these days, so that's even less reason to have a picture like that. Money flaunting, in a nutshell. Fat stacks of cash for no reason, and then fancy car, fancy house, fancy things. If it can be rented, watch out. Most likely they're renting it. They don't actually buy it. And that is how they're trying to present themselves, is that, oh, I'm successful, look at all I have. You don't have those things, you're renting them. And you're renting them to make people think you're successful, therefore they should buy your product. So I hope you can see how this can very easily turn into a very toxic environment. It's definitely not a solid business plan, and it's going to just leave most members, and I'm talking above 90% of the people who even try this, try to take on these business models, with disappointment and a lot of self-defeat. And it could even spread to destroying relations, because these people, a lot of these people who join MLMs and or pyramid schemes, same thing, if they're convinced you just have to keep trying, if you don't give up you're going to succeed, that could make them completely bull rush through other people who are like, hey, I don't think this is working out. Let's say says their spouse, no, I'm just not trying hard enough. Go away, you're just not a non-believer. That easily will cause social tension, the financial tension, because you're not making the money, so you're wasting time in that company, not making the money you need. So it's going to also actually further burden you. So hopefully this cooped up car rant helps some people.